A family standing at the cruise terminal in tears. The ship is right in front of them, but they'll never step foot on it. Why? Because mom packed some harmless CBD gummies for seasickness, $5 gummies, $10,000 vacation, gone. In 2025, 1 in 12 cruise passengers will be denied boarding for medication violations. That's over 2.5 million people turned away at the gangway, losing thousands of dollars with zero refund. But medication number 1 on our countdown is so shocking, even doctors are surprised it's banned. It's sitting in medicine cabinets across America right now. If you're planning any cruise this decade, hit that subscribe button. What I'm about to reveal could save you from becoming another denied boarding statistic. Let's count down the 10 common medications that will destroy your cruise vacation before it even begins. Medication 10. Pseudoephedrine, Sudafed, and cold medications. Meet Rebecca from Ohio. She packed her usual travel medicine kit for an Alaskan cruise. Sudafed for congestion, Actived for allergies, and a Vicks inhaler for her stuffy nose. At Juneau, she was detained by customs for 2 hours. Her medications contained pseudoephedrine, a controlled substance in many countries. Pseudoephedrine is the active ingredient in popular decongestants like Sudafed, Claritin D, and dozens of cold medications. In the US, it's your average cold medicine. In Japan and some Europe countries, it's treated like meth. Imagine explaining that at foreign customs. The problem isn't boarding the cruise ship. The problem comes when you try to enter foreign ports. Customs officials can confiscate your medications, fine you, or even prevent you from reboarding your ship. The solution? Check every port's medication restrictions before packing. Bring alternatives like steroid nasal sprays or antihistamines without pseudoephedrine. But cold medicine violations seem minor compared to medication number 9, which has caused lifetime bans from entire cruise lines. Medication 9, codeine-based cough syrups and pain relievers. David thought he was being responsible. His persistent cough was ruining family dinners, so he packed prescription codeine cough syrup for his Mediterranean cruise. At the port of Barcelona, Spanish customs found the codeine. Despite his valid prescription, he faced potential drug trafficking charges. Codeine is a controlled narcotic in Spain, requiring special permits for visitors. Codeine appears in many common medications. Tylenol 3, some prescription cough syrups, and certain pain relievers all contain this opioid derivative. That harmless cough syrup in your nightstand? In Spain or Dubai, it's treated the same way as heroin. Yes, heroin. Suddenly your chest cold looks a whole lot worse. Countries like the United Arab Emirates classify any amount of codeine as drug trafficking. Even residue in an empty bottle can result in imprisonment. The United Kingdom requires travelers to carry official documentation for any codeine-containing medication. Without proper paperwork, customs can seize your medicine and ban you from the country. Smart travelers avoid codeine entirely when cruising internationally. Alternative pain relievers and non-narcotic cough medications provide relief without legal risks. But even seemingly harmless cough syrup pales in comparison to medication number 8, which triggers immediate security alerts at cruise terminals. Medication 8. Adderall and ADHD stimulants. Medication 8. Adderall and ADHD stimulants. Sarah's teenage son needed his ADHD medication during their Caribbean cruise. She packed his Adderall prescription in their carry-on luggage, thinking everything was legal and proper. At Cozumel, Mexican authorities detained the family for 3 hours. Adderall contains amphetamine, which Mexico classifies as a dangerous drug. Even with prescriptions, stimulant medications require special permits for entry. ADHD medications like Adderall, Ritalin, Concerta, and Vyvanse contain controlled substances. These stimulants face restrictions in dozens of countries that cruise ships visit regularly. Japan prohibits most ADHD medications entirely. Passengers attempting to bring stimulants into Japan face arrest and deportation. One mom described it as the scariest parent moment of her life, armed officers holding her luggage over her kid's Ritalin bottle. Talk about a parent-teacher conference gone international. European countries require advance permits for stimulant medications. Without proper documentation filed weeks before travel, customs officials will confiscate the medicine and potentially press charges. Many families choose shorter cruises that don't visit countries with strict stimulant policies. It's easier than navigating complex international drug laws. But ADHD medications seem straightforward compared to medication number 7, which has fooled thousands of passengers who thought they were following the rules. Medication 7. Unlabeled prescription medications in pill organizers. Medication 7. Unlabeled prescription medications in pill organizers. Margaret wanted to simplify her cruise medication routine. She transferred all her prescriptions into a weekly pill organizer, removing the bulky original bottles. At embarkation, security questioned every unlabeled pill. Without original containers showing her name, prescription numbers, and prescribing doctors, they couldn't verify her medications were legal. She missed her cruise departure while pharmacy records were verified. The ship sailed without her. This scenario repeats hundreds of times monthly at cruise terminals. Passengers transfer medications into convenient organizers, unknowingly creating security red flags. You see vitamin D, security sees Walter White. That innocent pill organizer might as well be a suitcase full of crystal meth in the eyes of customs agents. Smart cruisers keep medications in original bottles throughout their vacation. If space is limited, they photograph prescription labels and carry copies in case bottles are damaged. This seems like common sense, but medication number 6 involves a substance so widely accepted that most people don't realize it's banned. Most people scroll past videos like this without subscribing, even though it genuinely helps creators share important information like this. That little subscribe button takes 2 seconds but makes a huge difference. Medication 6. CBD oils, gummies, and wellness products. Medication 6. CBD oils, gummies, and wellness products. Lisa's back pain flared up before her cruise vacation. Her doctor recommended CBD gummies for inflammation. They're legal in her home state of California, sold in regular pharmacies, and widely accepted as natural wellness products. At Port Canaveral, security dogs alerted on her luggage. Inside her toiletry bag, they found CBD gummies clearly labeled as hemp-derived and THC-free. She was denied boarding immediately. No refund, no rescheduling. Carnival banned her for life. Cruise ships operate under federal maritime law, where all cannabis derivatives remain illegal regardless of state legalization. CBD oils, gummies, creams, and vapes trigger the same security response as marijuana itself. The confusion stems from rapidly changing cannabis laws. States like Florida, Texas, and New York have legalized or decriminalized various cannabis products. Passengers see CBD in gas stations and pharmacies, assuming it's universally accepted. Major cruise lines explicitly ban CBD in their terms and conditions. Disney, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival all prohibit cannabis derivatives in any form. Violations result in denied boarding without compensation. The 2025 trend shows increasing CBD-related denials as more passengers travel with these products. Cruise forums buzz with warnings about CBD surprises during embarkation security checks, but CBD confusion is nothing compared to medication number 5, which involves prescriptions that millions of Americans rely on daily. Medication 5. Anti-anxiety medications without proper documentation. Medication 5. Anti-anxiety medications without proper documentation. Jennifer's anxiety peaked during cruise embarkation. Crowds, long lines, and security checks triggered panic attacks. She reached for her Xanax prescription, only to realize she'd transferred the pills to an unmarked container. Security found unlabeled white pills in her purse. Without original prescription bottles, they couldn't verify the medication was legally prescribed. Anti-anxiety drugs like Xanax contain controlled substances that require proof of legitimacy. She spent 4 hours at the security office while her doctor's office verified her prescription. Her family boarded without her, and she missed the first day of their vacation. Anti-anxiety medications, including Xanax, Valium, Ativan, and Klonopin, contain benzodiazepines. These controlled substances face strict documentation requirements during travel. International ports add complexity. Some countries require advance permits for benzodiazepine medications. Others limit quantities passengers can bring or require doctor's letters explaining medical necessity. Smart passengers keep anti-anxiety medications in original containers throughout their cruise. They also carry doctor's letters for international itineraries and research port requirements in advance. This preparation becomes critical when facing medication number 4, which has stranded passengers in foreign countries. Type "safe return" in the comments if you've made it this far. It's our secret phrase for dedicated viewers, and it helps me know this detailed medication information is valuable to you. Medication 4. Opioid pain medications. Robert's chronic back pain required prescription oxycodone for basic mobility. He brought his medication in the original bottle with his name clearly labeled, following all cruise line guidelines. At the port of Dubai, customs officials questioned his pain medication. The United Arab Emirates has zero tolerance for opioid drugs. Even prescribed medications require special permits obtained months in advance. He faced potential imprisonment for drug possession. The cruise ship departed without him while he navigated UAE legal procedures. Opioid pain medications, including Vicodin, Percocet, OxyContin, and morphine, face severe restrictions worldwide. Many countries classify these prescriptions as dangerous narcotics, regardless of medical necessity. Middle Eastern countries often ban opioids entirely. Asian countries require extensive documentation and advance permits. Even European nations scrutinize pain medications more strictly than other prescriptions. Alternatives include shorter cruises avoiding strict countries, non-opioid pain management strategies, or working with pain specialists to adjust medications before travel, but legitimate prescriptions seem reasonable compared to medication number 3, which involves something passengers use to prevent cruise sickness. Medication 3. Motion sickness patches and strong antihistamines. Medication 3. Motion sickness patches and strong antihistamines. Karen prepared meticulously for her first cruise. She researched seasickness remedies and obtained prescription scopolamine patches from her doctor. These medical patches prevent motion sickness during rough seas. At customs in Jamaica, officials detained her for drug possession. Scopolamine is classified as a dangerous drug in many Caribbean countries due to its use in criminal activities. Motion sickness medications often contain compounds that face international restrictions. Scopolamine patches, strong antihistamines, and certain nausea medications trigger security concerns. Some countries ban scopolamine entirely due to its misuse in robbery and assault cases. Officials cannot distinguish between medical patches and criminal applications without extensive verification. Alternative motion sickness remedies include ginger supplements, acupressure bands, or milder antihistamines that don't trigger security alerts. Research port regulations before selecting seasickness prevention methods. This medication category highlights the complexity of international drug laws. What doctors prescribe for legitimate medical conditions becomes illegal contraband depending on geographic location. But motion sickness patches seem logical compared to medication number 2, which has caused the most shocking lifetime bans in cruise history. Medication 2. Medical marijuana and cannabis prescriptions. Medication 2. Medical marijuana and cannabis prescriptions. Dr. Martinez prescribed medical marijuana for Tom's chronic pain and PTSD symptoms. Tom had a valid medical marijuana card from Colorado and legally purchased cannabis products from licensed dispensaries. He brought his medical marijuana on a Caribbean cruise, assuming his prescription made it legal. After all, it was medicine prescribed by a doctor for legitimate medical conditions. Security found his cannabis products during embarkation screening. Despite his medical marijuana card, valid prescription, and legal purchase documentation, he was denied boarding immediately. Royal Caribbean banned him for life. No appeal process, no refund, no exceptions. Medical marijuana represents the most misunderstood medication category for cruise travel. Passengers assume that legal prescriptions create exceptions to cruise line policies. This policy extends to cannabis accessories, paraphernalia, and related products. Even empty containers that previously held marijuana products can trigger security alerts and boarding denials. The lifetime ban consequence seems harsh for medical patients following doctor's orders, but cruise lines maintain zero-tolerance policies for liability protection. But even medical marijuana bans seem understandable compared to our shocking number 1 medication, which has surprised doctors and passengers alike. Hey, don't forget to type our secret phrase in the comment section, safe return. Medication 1. Insulin and diabetes supplies with insufficient documentation. This revelation shocks even medical professionals. Insulin, the life-saving medication that millions of diabetics depend on, can result in cruise boarding denials. Patricia had been diabetic for 20 years. She carefully packed her insulin supplies, glucose testing strips, and emergency medications in original containers, with clear prescription labels. At the cruise terminal, security questioned her insulin pens and testing supplies. Without a doctor's letter explaining her diabetic condition and medication necessity, they suspected drug paraphernalia. Insulin pens resemble drug injection devices. Glucose testing supplies include lancets that security interprets as drug-related equipment. Even prescription labels don't always clarify medical necessity to non-medical security personnel. International complications multiply the problem. Some countries require advance permits for insulin and diabetic supplies. Others mandate doctor's letters translated into local languages. The most shocking cases involve passengers whose insulin was confiscated at foreign ports. Without their medication, they faced life-threatening medical emergencies far from home. The solution requires extensive documentation. Diabetic passengers need doctor's letters, prescription copies, and medical necessity statements. They should research every port's requirements and carry emergency contact information for local medical facilities. Some cruise lines now provide medical advisory services to help passengers navigate complex medication requirements. but the responsibility ultimately falls on travelers to ensure proper documentation. Now, what's your experience been with cruise medications? Have you ever had issues bringing prescriptions on cruises? Drop a comment below sharing your story. Your experience could help other travelers avoid these costly mistakes. These 10 medications destroy cruise vacations before they begin, but knowledge is protection. The cruise industry's medication policies seem harsh, but they stem from international laws, liability concerns, and passenger safety requirements. Understanding these rules prevents costly surprises at the terminal. Research every medication in your travel kit. Check cruise line policies, port country regulations, and documentation requirements. When in doubt, consult your doctor about alternative medications that avoid international restrictions. If this video saved you from a potential boarding denial, consider subscribing for more travel safety content. I'll continue exposing the cruise industry secrets that protect your vacation investment. Vacations are supposed to create memories, not mugshots. Do your homework, pack smart, and you'll be sipping margaritas on deck 12 while less prepared passengers are Googling flights home from customs jail. Safe travels, and may your only cruise disaster be running out of dessert at the buffet. If this video saved you from a potential boarding denial, consider subscribing for more travel safety content. I'll continue exposing the cruise industry secrets that protect your vacation investment.